Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our free necklace night. I'm Jennifer Keller. I'm an executive company vice president here with Park Lane, and I am here with the fabulous division leader, Christina Patow. So welcome, everybody. So as you're hopping on, do us a favor, tag your stylist in the comments, let her know that you're here, because as I'm sure you know, at the end of this, we do give away a necklace, and we can only give it to you if we know you're in the room. So make sure you comment, make sure you tag her. Let us know if you're new to Park Lane. Let us know where you live. Something about you would be great. And then we are just going to dive right in. So, as I mentioned, Christina is a division leader on our team. She has been with us for almost 2 years. Is that right?
2 years, yep.
2 years in July. And what I love about Christina is she started a year ago, July, came in as a fashion director, has promoted up, went 3 levels. She is a trip earner. She is a Mercedes car bonus earner. She has done all the things. So Christina, tell them a little bit about you and how you got into Park Lane.
Oh gosh. Well, because you invited me. It's a bigger story than that. Yeah, so I was in direct sales before with another company that changed their business model out of direct sales into affiliate. And it was right about that time that I went through a nasty divorce and I just kind of tapped out at that time. Took probably about a year to find myself and figure out who I was. And I had a new boyfriend at that time. And if you ever want the side story, it's a fun one. I'll just throw in a little quick tidbit here. The ex had an affair. So a couple months later, a man reached out to me on Instagram and said, "Are you married to so and so? Our spouses are having an affair." That man who lives in Nashville is now my boyfriend. So
That is
amazing.
a crazy story.
Yeah. So I was out there visiting him for I think it was my second time seeing him. And a gal who isn't on the team anymore, but I love her, she reached out to me and said, "Hey, join the in. You should, if you tune into this mega show tonight, you could win $500 in free jewelry." And I said, "Hold on." I told my now boyfriend, "I don't care what we're doing. You don't get to talk to me for the period of time of this mega show." And I wasn't a big jewelry wearer at the time, but I just felt like I needed something sparkly. I didn't win. But as soon as they told the story of Park Lane and the camaraderie and the consistency and the safety of being in this particular direct sales company, that they weren't going to go anywhere and all the things, I think I was like the first person to hit sign up. I'm like, "Sign me up, sign me up, sign me up." And
That's
here
so
I
I
am.
know. I love that you say you didn't win, but you're still here. Because
Yeah.
what it did is it gave you a reason to come and to hear about Park Lane, just like we're doing tonight. And I'm sorry, we're not giving away $500 tonight, but we are going to give away a necklace. So you're going to be so happy that you guys are here. And so when Christina got started, like many of you, I'm sure she works a busy full-time job. So how do you make this work with your full-time job and with Park Lane?
Well, at this particular moment in time, it's a lot easier since I'm not working for the next 3 months. But before that, I'm a full time ICU nurse. And when I say I have a busy life, I have an insanely busy life. 3, if not 4 days a week. I am up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't walk back in the door until 8:15 to 8:30 that night. So basically, 3 days out of the week, sometimes 4, are unavailable for Park Lane unless I schedule my time in the bathroom and complain that I've got indigestion that day. Then I can usually squeak out some more time. But by and large, I'm not available those days. I have a phenomenal team that jumps in if I'm not available and there's questions in our community or group messenger thread. They all get answered. But finding the time, especially on my days off or even on the days that I'm working, it's surprising to me how easy it is to find pockets of time and to be successful. If I had all the time in the world, I'd be Jennifer Keller, and that's where I'm going after next. But it's totally possible to make this work, no matter what your demanding life is, whether it's working full time, parenting full time. It's totally doable.
Yeah, I think too, I agree with that because, we'll get into how much money you can make and all that, and that's great. And of course, it's worth your time. But to me, the flexibility is probably the top thing because we are all busy people. And when you get to control your schedule and you get to do parties when you want and how you want, it does work for someone who works full-time, part-time, takes care of little kids, big kids, parents, all the things, because you get to decide how to do this business. So, we have stylists on our team who do primarily in-person events, which is great. We have stylists who do online parties, which is great. Vendor events, fundraisers, pop-ups, setting up at a wine bar. So there's so many different ways that you can do this and make it work for you. And I love that you're able to make this work with your full-time job. So let's talk a little bit about jewelry. Why do you think jewelry is a great product to sell?
It's easy. So my last go around in direct sales was with makeup. And I also have some experience in, peptides and things like that. And that is a really long sales cycle because you have to build up trust so much. People aren't just going to switch their makeup routine like this just because you said it'll look good on them. Women are married to what they look like. And to get any change in that takes a long, long time. Jewelry, hello, it's just so simple and so easy. It's like, going through before I got into Park Lane, I would joke that I couldn't go to CVS and walk past the end cap with the jewelry because my $10 purchase that day would end up being $500 purchase. And it's not that it's an impulse buy, but it a lot of it is an impulse buy. And we were doing a different training the other day, and it was something that really struck out to me is it's easy to sell jewelry because jewelry brings out an emotion for a woman and it makes them feel good. It's like like a dopamine serotonin surge, and it just can't help but make you feel better, sparkly.
Yeah, I agree. And I think jewelry too, it's a simple product. You don't have to teach anybody how to use it. If you can hold up, a pair of earrings and say, aren't these pretty? You're like 50% trained. And so I think when you're looking at a company like a jewelry company, you have to make sure you partner with one that has enough of a variety, because jewelry is personal. If a woman loves it, you can't talk her out of it. If she doesn't like it, you can't talk her into it. So you have to have enough variety to appeal to everyone. So we have things like that. We've got dainty delicates and little layered pieces you can do. We've got big, bold statement pieces, statement rings, designer inspired, all of that. So I'm confident that any woman, any age can find jewelry in our line that she's going to like. And the fun part, I think, for us and for our customers is the jewelry changes all the time. Like, we're constantly coming out with new jewelry. So tell them a little bit about how often we get new jewelry.
Uh, Daily, pretty much. There's style drops many times during the week, and we have two big catalog releases that's considered more of like a permanent line twice a year. But then every couple of months, sprinkled in between that, there's these limited edition capsules. Just about the time that my customer base is getting tired of the current line, then a new capsule, limited edition capsule, comes in. And then sprinkled in throughout that, we have these style drops. And the style drops, especially if it's something sparkly, it's like a frenzy. It's like a feeding frenzy. And I've trained my customers that, okay, if you like this style drop, you better go get it now because there's a good chance it's going to be gone in an hour. So all the time, there's the staple pieces that are around, and then there's the sprinkling, to really get your little dopamine surge almost on a, not daily, but a few times a week anyways.
Definitely. They do keep it exciting with all the constant things they do. I mean, they have a Sparkle Box subscription. They've got the style drop she mentioned, the deals of the day. And so it's, we get trained as stylists and our customers too, to just look for that Park Lane email with what's coming. And, I don't always get every deal, and just like customers don't get every deal, but you just want to see what's coming. You want to be part of it. So they're very smart in how they market the jewelry, definitely, for their customers. So I know when I got started in Park Lane, one of the things that really drew me to Park Lane was their customer sale. And, drop a C in the chat if you have experienced Park Lane's customer sale. Because when I heard this, I just thought, on the one hand, I thought it was a great deal for customers. So in case you don't know what it is if you purchase 2 items at full price, you can get 4 items at half price. And the 2 at full price are the least expensive. And when I first heard that, I think I had to hear it twice because nobody does a sale like that. So immediately that makes us different. It also lets the customer know from the very beginning that you are looking out for her. I just did a cart today, as a matter of fact. Someone sent me a cart. She had a $30 pair of earrings, a $76 necklace, and then I think it was another $60, $70 piece. I can't remember. And I went back to her and I just said, Lindsay, you know what? If we add another pair of like $30 earrings, you're actually going to spend less money and get another piece of jewelry. And they love that. And that never gets old because they know that we are looking out for you to help you get the best deal possible. And as a stylist, I came from another jewelry company, and I can barely remember actually the hostess details on that, but I do know we were able to give the hostess some half price, but we didn't make commission on that. With Park Lane, anything that's sold at full or half price, we make our commission on. So I feel like they're looking out for the customers, they're looking out for us. It's kind of that, we call it the perfect trifecta with stylists, customers, and hostesses. And then the other thing is that I think they do so well with that sale is when customers purchase 90, they can get any piece at any price for $35. And that eliminates that objection of the jewelry is expensive. Because if I didn't know about the sale, I would think it was expensive, but I know about the sale. And now all of a sudden I'm looking at how much jewelry someone can get. It's amazing. So we love, love, love that sale. So I mentioned, we kind of have this perfect trifecta of something for customers, hostesses, and stylists. Christina, tell them a little bit about what they do for hostesses.
Oh, goodness. And it's so fun because I have a party going right now that we're one order away from a perfect 10 order party. So it's really exciting. So for stylists, basically, and whether it's for a stylist or for ourselves, we open up a shopping link, and it's the same as if we are our own hostess. So when I say that these are hostess benefits, they're also your benefits, which is really, really cool. So for any order, your party has to qualify at $300 in net sales. But after that, and that can come in one order. After that, every order earns you $20 in free jewelry. It doesn't matter if that order is a $26 pair of earrings, that still counts for free jewelry, which is when I first heard that when I started, I was like, wait, come again? And then once you get to 10 orders, the amount doubles to $40 in free jewelry. So that's why we always try and get our hostesses parties to 10 orders, because at 9 orders, it's $180 in free jewelry. But at 10 orders, it's $400 in free jewelry. It's absolutely amazing. Plus, and once we close out the party, in addition to the $400 in free jewelry, they also get a bonus item for $35. They can choose 4 items at 50% off. They can get all the style drops they want. It's just great.
And I love that you mentioned that that's for hostesses or that's for stylists, because we know a lot of stylists started out as hostesses and customers. You love the jewelry. Why not sell the jewelry? It's a win-win situation. So that's what we do as stylists too, is we open up our own shopping link. We get it to 10 orders. We collect our $400 in jewelry, submit it, get paid, and open up a new link. Like constantly, you can get an unlimited amount of free jewelry. And I think the hostess plan is really important when you're looking at a business, because so many direct sales companies have gone to an affiliate model. They've changed their hostess plan, and you want to be part of a company that has a strong hostess plan, because that's where you meet new people. Like you can meet, people onesie twosies as you're kind of out and about. And I do love that we sell a visual product, because just wearing it will get people to compliment you, and then you can talk about it in a natural way. But when a hostess has 10 people at her party in person, or usually online, she's got more people, that's instant connections that you make because of her. And it's a warm connection because it's like she's introducing you to her friends. So that is what will keep the business going. So that's why we value our hostesses so much. So we talked about the customer and the hostess. What do they do for the stylist? What is one of your favorite stylist perks?
Well, it happens to be a perfect time in my life to be talking about my favorite perk, because this is from a really serious car accident I was in on Easter Sunday. I'm lucky to be alive. I totaled my car. So I don't know how long ago it was, a year ago, perhaps, I qualified for Park Lane's Mercedes car program. So check this out. My dad, who's Mr. Skeptic, is now on board with Park Lane because of this. So you have to meet certain sales criteria and recruiting criteria based on what level you are within the organization. I'm a division leader. So what that means, I don't even remember how many people that I have to bring on. But point is, if I meet certain sales criteria and recruiting criteria, Park Lane will give me $700 a month to drive my white Mercedes. And I'll tell you the truth, my car payment is half of that. So hello. And if you choose not to get a white Mercedes, no big deal. You'll just get $500.
I know. It's so good.
It's
Like
amazing.
she just got a gorgeous new Mercedes. I've had the Mercedes and then I went back and now I'm driving my own car again. So I collect the cash. It is a great bonus program that you can actually start earning at the very first level of leadership with Park Lane. So we love the Mercedes. Another one that's my favorite is the trips. I love I love to travel. I love to travel anywhere, like as much as I can. So my motto in life pretty much is to work hard and travel more. And I pay for a lot of trips, but I also love that Park Lane pays for 2 of them a year. And they are not average trips. These are trips to, we went to Paris and Dublin and Zurich, and we're going to Amsterdam this summer. And then we just are finishing up in a trip qualification to Costa Rica. They are all expense pretty much. I mean, it includes the breakfast, most of the dinners, your airfare. I mean, all the things, and they are amazing. So that is reason enough for me to join Park Lane, is just to earn trips. And what I like about it too is anybody can earn it. It's not just for some certain leadership level. Everybody who can, basically share the jewelry and talk about the business can earn a trip to wherever Park Lane's going next. So drop a 2 in the chat if you also like to travel. I'd like to know who my travel buddies are. So
I
the
will
trips.
comment on that because in my last company, it was only the leaders that got to go on these trips. It was unattainable. And you guys, I earned the first trip that I was on board to Zurich, and I'm also going to Amsterdam. So when I say it's doable, it's doable.
Yeah, she really is living proof. Like we mentioned, she started in July, a year ago, July, and that's when our next trip period starts. And in her first 6 months, with no experience in selling jewelry, not only did she promote 4 times, but she also earned the trip to Switzerland. Like that is so doable, so doable. So if you like to travel, I would put a little check mark next to that. Okay, so we've talked about the free jewelry you can earn. I mean, Park Lane is all, if you are a carrot chaser, and we are carrot chasers, there is always something that you can be going for. We just wrapped up April, and on the last day of April, I told our team, don't forget it's the last day of April. These are all the things you can earn. And it was like this long of all the different jewelry and purses and I don't even know what else. Shoes, Tory Burch shoes and all these fun things that we do. So there's always some fun prizes to go after. They're very much an incentive-based company, and they love to reward us. They just did Costa Rica drawings for hostesses and stylists, and it just keeps it very fun. It keeps it very exciting. And in addition to all those fun things, we also get paid. So Christina, tell them how much money you can make as a stylist with Park Lane.
So I mentioned my divorce. At that time, I was scared to death about how I was going to be able to stay in my house because I went like spontaneously, it felt like, from dual income to single income in dual income Orange County in a very dual income house. And I kid you not, I bring home more from my, maybe not more, the same amount, I'll say, as my ICU nursing career. And there's been months where I've brought in twice as much that I make in my ICU nursing career. For example, when we were in the throes of qualifying for the Amsterdam trip, I had one of my best sales months ever, and I make 40% commission. And it's so doable. And for example, the jewelry that I buy to show and give away is a tax write-off. And so I just feel that if it hadn't been for Park Lane, I certainly wouldn't be so sparkly, and I most certainly wouldn't have been able to stay in my house.
I love that. Yeah, the opportunity is unlimited, you know? So as a stylist, you come in and you're starting at a 30% commission. And then as you increase your leadership levels, it can go from 30% all the way to 50%. And one thing I love about them is that you never go backwards. You never lose your title. You never lose your higher commission rate. And then they also have a program they call Direct to Point, where if you have previous direct sales leadership experience, they recognize that, they respect that, and many times they can bring you in at a level equal to where you have been in the past. Now, that's what they did for me. I had been a leader in another company for 20 years. That company closed. I had no warning that was happening. We were relying on that income. It was hard. I mean, I'm sure some of you have gone through something similar. And so when Park Lane said we recognize that, it was very validating. Like, I just thought, thank you. Like, it just took a little bit of that sting away from having a door shut so abruptly. So if you have any direct sales leadership experience, make sure you tell your stylist, because I don't know what that would look like for you, but it is definitely worth looking into. And then the flip side of it is, if you don't have any leadership experience, Exhibit A right here next to me, as I keep saying, she started at 30% as a fashion stylist. She promoted up to branch and then area and then division leader in her first 6 months. Now, I don't know that everybody can do that, but she did it. So if one person can do it, other people can do it. And that's just exciting too. So either way, but if you do have experience, please let someone know. And then I think maybe the last thing on Park Lane is just how much it costs to get started. And you can join Park Lane right now for $129 and get $500 in jewelry to start. I love that, because my previous company, I paid $1,200 for a kit of jewelry I didn't even get to pick out. And, I wasn't sure. I was kind of nervous, and that was a huge financial investment. And Park Lane is like, just try it. See if you like it. We're going to give you $500 in jewelry. What do you have to lose? Like, most of us spend more than $129 at Costco. I know I do. So I love saying that, because it's it's not no risk, but it's a pretty low risk, because what we will do with you is we will just, once you join, we kind of put our arms around you and say, let's do this together. We will do your launch party. We will get you up and running. We will train you on all kinds of things that you want to know. We have been together as a team now for almost 5.5 years, and we have figured it out. Like, we have so many systems. Our systems have systems. That's a hard thing to say. Where I am so confident in telling you that we can help you make this a success if you want it. So I love our team. I'm very proud of what we're doing here, and we do have a lot of fun too. So I hope you'll think about that. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Jump in. That's all I got to say. Yeah, it's and again, I'm drawing on experience from past companies, and the support and camaraderie really is second to none. And I mean, we have this beautiful woman right here at the top of our organization, and she's just always there. So if there's ever something that your leader doesn't know, Jen is always available. There's always an answer. There's no situation that you could possibly ever find yourself in that is not solvable.
Oh, I appreciate that, because I think, you join Park Lane, but you really join a team, and it makes a difference which team you join, and ours is the best. I'm so sorry. The other teams are great too, but come with us. So, all right, we are going to wrap this up. Couple last things. Thank you, first of all, for giving us a little bit of your time on a Sunday night. There's a survey pinned at the top. You want to fill that out. That is your ticket to get into the drawing for our free necklace. If you're catching this on replay, just make sure you fill that out by Monday night. The drawing is always on Tuesday. It will ask you at the end of the survey what our secret word is. Let's just make it, May. May just started. I can remember that. May is the secret word. Put that on the survey. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks, Christina. It's always fun to do this with you. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.